The questions, Shaykh Abdullah?
The first one was fairly simple. It was, can you read multiple qira'at in a prayer? For example, if you read an ayah and then you have another qira'at the next ayah, or
لا, you can do that. The ulama agreed in all 14 centuries that you cannot switch between qira'at in the different ayat in the salah, but you can do in different rak'ahs. يعني in that rak'ah I recited, they differed about the surah, so you can read the surah. Yeah, but it does not يعني does not void the salah. If someone read the ayah and then he repeat the same ayah with another qira'ah مثلا, it's okay يعني, but it's not a tradition, it's not like something, so it does not void the salah. But it's not mustahab to do that because it becomes like a play يعني, right? And no consistency.
Somebody asked the difference between sughra and kubra.
العشرة الصغرى العشرة الكبرى. Oh, this is more of technical terms that العشرة الكبرى الإمام ابن الجزري came later. العشرة الصغرى الإمام الشاطبي came earlier. الإمام الشاطبي he narrates يعني this صغرى and كبرى is the term, a later term from both يعني. It's not, الإمام الشاطبي did not call it صغرى يعني. He did not say that because الإمام الشاطبي did not do 10 أصلا. الإمام الشاطبي did 7 only. Right? So Imam al-Shatibi's knowledge from the shuyukh that he recited Quran on 7 qira'at. And he only chose minimum variations. So for Asim, he took Hafs and Shu'bah, we understand that. But Hafs variations, according to Imam al-Shatibi, is only little bit. Right? And he chose the mad one way only. Right? Tawassut, 4 harakat, that's it. Okay? Shu'bah, like him. For the mad, right? I'm just giving you an example. The 7 he did similar stuff, close. And then Imam Ibn al-Jazari came later and he followed Imam al-Shatibi's methodology, and he said there are 3 other qira'at, they are as famous as the Imam al-Shatibi, and he follows the methodology and the method that Imam al-Shatibi put for himself, the rules. And he put those 3 qira'at and they call it 10. Right? That's what we call now Sughra. Why? Because it only had limited variations of each qira'ah of the 10. So 7 of Imam al-Shatibi and the 3 for Imam Ibn al-Jazari, he added them. Shatibiyya, he put it the poem, right poem, had the rules of the 7. Ad-Durra, Imam Ibn al-Jazari, he did it, but he did it out of his adab, يعني, in accordance to the way of. It is like al-Hakim, he make al-Mustadrak يعني. It is like Imam Bukhari and Muslim, this is the rules that they used for their hadith, and this hadith fit their criteria. Okay, so that's called the Ashra Surah. Now Ibn al-Jazari himself went for the same 10 qira'at, but he expanded. So within Hafs, Mad al-Munfasil can do 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Mad al-Muttasil, you can do 4, 5, or 6. And now, you can make the combinations, combination and permutation. So when you do the 2 in Munfasil, can you do 4, 5, or 6 or not? يعني issues, who does what. So Imam Ibn al-Jazari, in his way, the total ways of qira'at 1,000. 1,000 roads يعني to the 10 qira'at. So he have like almost 100 tariq for each qira'ah or more. So Hafs only, according to Tayyiba or Al-Ashra Al-Kubra, has 58 different tariq. So Hafs have different ways. Imam al-Shatibi, Hafs only the way that you hear and all that. But Hafs have غنة and lam and ra in some of the tariq. هدى للمتقين غفور رحيم without غفور رحيم, very hard غنة. And then you have sect. من آمن على كل شيء قدير. حفص قرآنا عربيا. حفص هذا اللي احنا بنعرفه. So according to العشرة الكبرى, There are more variation and permutation and combination of that makes it about 58. And then Shatibiya, that's why I call Sughra minor, major. That's the difference.
When you teach us, so you basically stick by the guidelines given by Imam Shatibi. When
Shatibi,
you're teaching
yeah.
us at this point in our lives.
What's that?
When you're teaching us Qira'at at this point in our lives, you're teaching us basically the rules set by Imam Shatibi for Hafs.
According to Shatibiya and the Durra, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When I'm teaching you, I teach you according to Shatibiya. That's where everybody starts, right?
That's what I'm asking.
Even when people read from Al-Tayyiba, I don't give you all the variations. But when you read from Shatibiya, you take all the variations from Shatibiya because they're very limited. يعني when it comes to Hafs, I tell you it is ضعفا ضعف. Read with whatever. It is الذكرين or الذكرين. Just both are okay. That's Shatibiya like that, right? This or that, and you can choose. But Hafs, he said no. If you read الذكرين, these words will be read like this. If you read الذكرين, these words will be read like this. If you do mad here, you cannot do this. And if you do this, you cannot do that, right? So that adds to the variation. So according to even طيبة, يعني Shaykh Hussein was reciting was حفص عن عاصم طريق طيبة طريق واحد with the قصر المنفصل, this two حركة only المنفصل, but from طريق المصباح. طريق المصباح you read قصر المنفصل and you can do these things. But there are many others who do the same قصر المنفصل but they do different things, right? So you choose only one. But when you read on the Shaykh from طيبة, you read all those. And it is all about mixing and doing things. So you read the ayah and whatever difference you do. You're not going to repeat the ayah for each and every one, يعني, otherwise you take forever, right? But you read and then whenever there is a word, you kind of, there is a mathematical way of doing things. Yeah. So the
person mentioned the hadith of Sayyidina Umar. Remember the one you mentioned, he was praying and he heard somebody else.
yeah, Hisham ibn Hakim and Umar ibn Khattab,
No.
yes.
So he was asking, because of this, can we say that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had a specific or a favorite per se qira'at that he used to recite in the prayer that since Umar radiallahu anh hadn't heard a different?
All right. So instead of expanding too much, I'm just gonna narrow it as much as I can. All the qira'at of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is narrated by all the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but not all the qira'at narrated by Sayyid, except Zayd ibn Thabit. He knows all of that. That's one thing. The other, that not all of the Sahaba were always in attendance, and especially Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. There is a hadith that he and his neighbor, I think Aus ibn Khawli, or I don't remember, from Al-Ansar, yani. One goes one night and the other goes one night, and they teach each other what they missed. That's also another factor. Third factor, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam varies the teaching. So he teach Abdullah ibn Mas'ud in a way, he teach Hisham ibn Hakim in a way, he teach Umar ibn Khattab in a way. So nobody can say it's favorite because Umar is better than Hisham. That means Qira'ah of Umar is better than the Qira'ah of Hisham, right? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and told them, read, you read, and both he said that's how it is revealed. So nobody can say this is one. And many scholars try to find how Rasulullah was like Nafi' or like Asim. Nobody could do, yani. Or even the style, the melody, yani, of Ghunna or this or that. But that is how the Qira'ah will recite. That's how Rasulullah used to recite in all of them. But nobody can say which one is favorite.
You told us about the history, how one qira'at was famous at one time and one another. This person basically just asked that in the future, say 200-300 years, is it possible that another qira'at
لا, come out, no.
I mean, not a new one, but the ones we know become more famous, like than say Hassan also.
It's possible. Actually, they are becoming like that. Actually, they are becoming more famous than they were in the past, let's say 100 years. 100 years, the practice made them famous in their own localities, the practice. But not necessarily all of them were famous. Now, because of the technology, because of the access, because one person knows all the Qira'at, that it depends on the person, as I mentioned in the history, that one person changes the, because people keep going to and all that, he become famous. Like Shaykh Walid, Hafizahullah, he make a change in the state of Minnesota. There were many Huffaz from Somalia and all that. But then he started spreading the Qira'at. So in 10-15 years now you find Qira'at very famous in Minnesota. You go in Minnesota, you find somebody reciting Kisa'i, somebody reciting Ibn Amir, simple كده in Salawat. So, you know, you go Maghrib, you will find the Qira'ah. Yani anywhere you go, within a week, if you go circle the twin cities, you will listen to the 10 Qira'ah. Sahih, Fajr, Maghrib, Isha, just change every Salah somewhere, you will hear things. Yeah. So this is how one person makes things. So if this happens in 10 years, you can imagine each one of those, when they're moving and expanding, of course it becomes famous. Actually, one of the students of the Shaykh who read Al-Ashar Al-Kubra with him, Shaykh Abdul Nasir, he went in Somal and he opened one of the biggest centers in the country now. It's called the Shaykh Walid Idris Binesi's Center of Qira'at. And one of his students took number 1 in the Kuwait International Quran competition. He took like first. So the student of the student of Shaykh Walid. So that tells you how a person can do. So that means if it continues like that, of course, why not? Not in 200 years, maybe less. Yeah. Maybe less. Because now everybody listening to different Qira'at. It is recorded online. People can download. You can see a Shaykh actually in front of you. You have access to it. Yani 30 years ago in America, how many Shaykh have Qira'at except those who used to come in Ramadan, yani, right? Or a Shaykh Abdul Basit reciting, you don't know what he's doing. But now look at this. We are studying, we get familiar with it. Maybe your children will know more than one Qira'ah. Inshallah. So my advice, inshallah, at the end, that always keep raising the bar, keep, improving the standards. That's how the ummah or the ummah improves, and the knowledge, is taken care of and preserved. Skills are sharpened when you are not just satisfied with what you have. You want more in the fiqh, in the aqidah, in the Quran and all that. So inshallah we can raise the standard. People only were worried about hifz. Then they become hifz with tajweed. Then maybe inshallah one day hifz with tajweed and qira'at. Who knows one qira'ah, who knows two qira'ah. We want our imam to have no less than 2 qira'ah. Alhamdulillah. It's a good thing that we're raising the standards. And I really would like to see that. And I would really like to see female alimat of Qira'at. I would love to see that, because subhanallah, through the history, whenever there is a female alima of Qira'at, they become very dedicated, because the man might have a job here or the job there and doing Qira'at, but the women, they give their life for it. And when they love something, they give their 100%. But when we love something, it's one of the compartments. We have other things also, we want to work or do this or do that, but when the women give their passion, mashallah, it's focused 100%. So I advise my sisters, inshallah, to study this ilm. And alhamdulillah, and I'm sure in North America there are few ladies who know Qira'at, mashallah, in California, in Canada, in Minnesota, in I don't know about Texas, but inshallah, hopefully we get soon, inshallah. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه.